Okay, so here we are again on Saturday Night Live Zoom with special guest Elena. It's been a while since we see you, Elena.
Wow, yeah, long time no see.
I'll speak with you. Okay. So how you been doing?
I've been doing the beautiful, the bad, and the ugly.
Like everybody. If we only had beautiful, life would be so boring. You know, once you have all the different flavors, the beautiful becomes more beautiful. Because you have the contrast between all the different ones.
Mm-hmm.
So it's awesome. But yeah, you're glowing. Everything's been going. What's the word? You've had a lot of challenges.
Yeah, I had a lot, and I'm still having a lot.
Yeah, well, this is life, and we continue to learn from our experiences. But
yeah, for sure.
maybe you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and what brought you to wanting to do master fasts and so on and so forth.
I've been having problems with my uterus and pelvis area because of uterine fibroid and endometriosis. Endometriosis spread to a lot of places in my entire abdomen. And I've had in the past, like about 9 years ago, I've had laparoscopy when they actually burned a lot of implants inside. So they entered through little incisions, they saw, and they kind of burned that. I was scared, I didn't know what to do, but it was absolutely unnecessary. Maybe somebody already know, I shared it on a page. It was unnecessary because it just started, the problem started like, I don't know, very, very shortly after that again. So everything returned.
So how long have you been having this challenge?
A long time. So that's why this condition became kind of stubborn and chronic, because I've been looking for solutions for many years, but nothing worked, and I've been putting a lot of effort and with very little results, little to none. Yeah.
What kind of diet did you grow up? Did you grow up in Russia or America? Where did you grow up?
Yeah, I grew up in Russia. So when I was a child, like, there were no restaurants available in Russia, not much. So everybody cooked at home, and 99% everybody ate at home. So it was a good part that food was cooked from scratch. That's a good part. But we had some Soviet Union kind of culture, traditional food, which is not good, like a lot of mayo. So like all salads would be mayo. And I look at the videos now, and it's still going on in Russia. They still make a lot of salads with mayo, like very rich. So there are some things that I didn't, that I can't call healthy, but also my grandparents, they had a garden in the suburbs, and I spent all my childhood there, like all summers. So we had a lot of like fresh produce and berries and fruits and vegetables.
Awesome.
So I don't know. It's for sure the diet. My background diet is better than standard American diet, I would say.
Yeah, like especially when you're eating from the homemade meal, scratch, and stuff that people grow themselves. It's much better than North America. Like the North America is probably the classic of the worst diet in the world.
Yes, I would say so. Yeah, I would agree. So yeah, my diet, but still a lot of cooked food, like, because it's cold, you kind of save yourself with hot food. And that's my obstacle, because I'm really, really addicted to hot food. It's very comforting to me. I just want hot food. Like all these like soups and stews, even coffee, even the hottest days, even if I'm abroad traveling in very hot locations, I always buy hot beverages. I never buy like icy coffee or iced tea. Never. I don't like it. It's gonna be 100 degrees outside. I'm gonna be drinking hot tea or hot coffee.
Yeah, you know, it's a challenge for a lot of us breaking away from our traditions, especially the stuff we grew up with. We have very strong emotions tied to those foods and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Not an easy thing that's going to change in cultures unless they get all wiped out from disease, and then we have to start new. But we just like in my background, Italian diet, it's almost impossible to start, you know, changing, giving people new ideas. You know, a few people with open minds, if they're pushed through whatever reason, they'll start changing a little bit. But it's very, very challenging for people to pull away from their traditions, even though. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Frozen. Hello.
Elena?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You froze for a little bit. So, what age did you move to North America? Yes.
I moved. I was 26. 26.
When you were 26. Okay. And that's what, just a few years ago?
You're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
I don't know if it's your internet or if it's our internet. I think.
Are you guys, how about the rest?
I'm good. I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about everybody else? Do you guys have trouble with us?
Are you on Wi-Fi or are you plugged in?
Yeah, I'm on Wi-Fi. I don't have a cable.
Okay. Well, we'll work through it. So you moved to North America. Is that with yourself or your whole family moved?
Say it again.
Did you move on your own or your whole family moved to US?
No, I moved on my own. I came with a friend, but my friend went back to Russia and I stayed here. So my whole family is in Russia and all relatives. So yeah, I'm here on my own.
And what age was it?
Yeah, so
Sorry?
I moved here.
We're getting a lot of breakage. Can you go closer to the Wi-Fi station, or are you on a computer or a phone?
I'm on a computer and I'm at the closest to Wi-Fi right now.
Okay, we're getting some trouble with the internet there, but what age was it when you started having issues with the with your problem?
So basically, the symptoms of my problems, I didn't know that I have endometriosis and fibroids until like maybe 8-9 years ago. But I've been always having difficult periods, like starting from teenage. So there was a problem the onset, I think, already. And as the years go by, I was having heavy periods and a lot of pain. You hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit though.
Mm-hmm. So let me know if you don't hear me. Maybe, you know, it's okay for now.
Yeah, it's okay, but your video's frozen.
Maybe can we, maybe, Elena, can you turn off the video maybe?
Turn off what?
Maybe your video. Maybe that would make it easier. I mean, yeah, so like the video, the camera.
You could try, but
And just keep the voice maybe.
I don't think it's on our side. Now, anyway, now you seem to be cleared up. We'll continue.
Okay. Yeah, so my symptoms, like I said, it was extremely painful and heavy periods. And I didn't know what that means, why. And the years went by, I was having more and more problems with this. Then, you know, like about 8 years ago, they told me I have endometriosis, and they suggested we do laparoscopy and burn it. And also at the same time, I had abnormal, how you call it, abnormal cervix cells. So they also suggested they recut a layer of cervix. I didn't know anything, I was scared. So I thought they will fix my problem, so I agreed on that. But it didn't help, you know, it was very invasive. I couldn't walk after this like surgical procedures. It was I couldn't walk. Thanks God, my boyfriend took care of me, but it was absolutely unnecessary and useless because everything came back almost right away. And it was extremely expensive. I had the insurance at that time, and they billed my insurance like $8,000 for that. Yeah. And it didn't help. And at that time, I started to look for alternative ways to heal. And so I've done a lot since then. I've changed my diet. I incorporated a lot of stuff like anti-inflammatory, like turmeric, ginger. I didn't know anything about it before. I've done a few times master cleans. So I started looking for ways. But what frustrates me a lot about medical doctors, that they never point you in any direction to look. They don't even mention. That's what like pissed me off. You know, when I ask like what to do, there's nothing can be done. There's nothing to do. That's what they say. You have to come here. We will watch you, and we can burn. We can do some surgical procedures. They never even mention, at least I understand it's not their expertise, right? Don't tell me to fast or something else, but at least tell me to search. They don't do even that. Nobody even mentioned to me, there are alternatives, we don't do it, but there are people who do it. You search and find, maybe something will help you. Never, not even one doctor mentioned it.
Well, they can't bill you if they send you away.
Yeah.
But anyway,
many of them don't know.
Yeah,
they don't know.
They don't know. They doing their thing, and they're not interested in anything else.
It's okay. That they do their thing, we do ours. Whatever all the procedures that they're using, the cut and burn and drug, there's no solution. It just masks symptoms at best. And for many people, makes their life even worse in some cases. So everybody has a choice which way they want to go. We need a different kind of education system, which we have now, is the internet. You have to educate yourself.
Yes.
You can't rely on the system. Doctors today, through their own medical journals, they're the third leading cause of death, and I believe it's probably higher, but anyway, it's like it's somewhere between 500,000 and 1 million people a year are killed through proper procedures, drugs, prescriptions properly, mistakes, surgeries, et cetera, et cetera. Everything is in there. So that it's a lot of people that are dying. And the funny thing is that I've shared the article a few times, that one. And there's another article about doctors went on strike in Israel, and when they went on strike for a while, and the morgues were going out of business. So I'm not going to paint the brush with all of them, but that's the system. It's designed for one purpose, for making a profit. It's a business, and that's sad. Health care should not involve any money. It should be for the people, by the people. And we need to take charge of our own health because, as we've seen over and over by so many people, when you go through that system, it's not fun. It's scary for some people, very scary. So we go along and we do our own research, and the sad thing is there's so much information. It's so overwhelming. There's so much information that is not great, so we have to learn how to shift through it all. And that's where we need to use our little bit of common sense and how nature works and so on and so forth. Because otherwise, walking in blindly, just like we do when we go to a doctor, is not going to help you in the alternative field. Because it's just as vast as and with different opinions and so on and so forth as everything else. But so this issue basically it's excess bleeding. Is that what happens?
Yes, it's insane how much blood I'm losing every month. The body is in the last few years. It's very hard for my body to even recover from each month. It's taken a long time for me to recover. And as soon as I feel better, I have another bleeding, and it's like the faucet is open, and whatever you do, nothing helps. You have to, do something from within to heal, because nothing really worked. Like these surgical procedures never help. Then like around about 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, I went to another doctor because I was desperate. I didn't know. I was looking, and those little changes that I made in my diet and my ways, and I fasted. Like I said, I fasted. I did master cleans, but nothing really yielded any results.
How long did you do your master cleanses?
Master cleans I've done a few times. The longest probably a week.
Oh, that's a week, okay.
Yeah.
And you've done a few times? How many? 2, 3, 4?
Yeah, like 3 times.
And how many years ago was the last one?
I did it like in a short span of time. It was about 8 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, so it's been a while.
It's been a while, yes. And what happened next, I went to the doctor and he said he's gonna give me hormonal treatment, and he gave me pills. I don't like to take hormones. I'm against, but I was desperate to try something, so I did, and it was horrible. I ballooned. I like doubled in size from these pills, and my hormones were thrown off completely. I started bleeding, and I had like 2 or 3 periods back to back.
Wow.
Like as soon as one stops, another starts with all cycle and all the pain, like full period. And so I bled for like 3 weeks like this. And it was horrible. I called the doctor, and he was pissed off at me that I still continue taking these pills. Like, we had like this rough conversation over the phone. He like kind of blamed me for all this. And after that, I decided I'm not gonna go. There is nothing that, I also, the same doctor, he suggested they clean my uterus. Mm. How you call this procedure, Anna?
I forgot DNC, I think.
Yeah, they scrap the cartilage, something like that, right? So I went for this procedure, right? So nothing helped. And finally I was fed up, and I stopped going. I said to myself, that's it. It's not how I'm gonna get healed. And I started again with full force learning about alternative ways. And also I was having a lot of hormonal disbalance because of this, and I was having very unpleasant, uncomfortable symptoms. Besides like extremely heavy bleeding and extreme pain, the pain was so much like that the painkillers wouldn't help. Wow. And I would be like rolling on the floor, semi-conscious. And after like 2 or 3, I thought I'm gonna poison myself with painkillers because I was taking them constantly and they wouldn't help. It was like, yeah. So nothing was helping. I was searching again, and I was having like I said, a lot of very unpleasant side effects. Like I would hold a lot of water. Like fatigue, and from this blood loss I was hardly recovering. It was horrible, you know. Every time my period was gone, I would like be like newborn. I was like, oh my god, there is life. I can do things, you know. It was like I was like semi-conscious during these painful days in my period. I was like not here. That's how bad it was.
I know what you mean. When you're in a lot of pain, it's
yeah, it's like alternative state of mind. Something's going on there when you're not here. So what happened? I started again, and I went back to fasting, but I started doing fresh fruit juice fasting, and I've done several of those juice fasts, and you know what, it helped me a lot. I think it took the inflammation down, and I forgot to mention, I had extremely painful breasts. It's all related to all this, you know. They were tender and very painful to touch. Sometimes even walking would create pain in the breast, like, you know, it's horrible. So when I juice fasted for a few times, that took care of this problem. So I was like really, really inspired by that.
What kind of juice fast and how long?
I've done maybe 4 or 5. The longest probably like 8 or 10 days.
The raw juice fasting?
Raw juices, yeah. Mix vegetables and fruits, mix. But I got so inspired by that because it took care of the water retention, and it took care of my like painful tender breast, you know. The all this went down after a few fasts. So I was really, really happy about it, but the periods were still extremely painful, extreme blood loss. And I started searching more and more, and that's how I got to dry fasting. Dry fast. I found this Gavin on YouTube, and
that's how you heard about dry fasting?
Yes, because I've done already like fresh juice fast, and they helped to a certain extent. I was searching I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I found Gavin, and I joined his group on Facebook, and that's where I met you, Gina, through this group. And
a few years ago.
Yeah, it was probably 3 years ago, and that's how I started dry fasting. Yeah.
And then, so you heard about Dr. Filanoff after or before?
I heard about him in a group because everybody was talking about him, and there was his book in a file. So I read it, and I called him, and we spoke, and I started dry fasting. And a few months later, I was already in his place in Siberia.
So you incorporated dry fasting at that time?
Yes. Yeah, about 3 years ago. Mm-hmm.
How often do you dry fast?
I started dry fasting. It was very difficult for me. You know, I had this because of extreme fatigue and anemia. Of course, I have anemia for many years because of this blood loss. Even I take iron pills, but they don't really help all that much because of the enormous amount of blood that I'm losing. It just keeps you just a little bit better, but I'm still anemic throughout the whole these years. I don't even know how many years, because they told me, I found out that I'm extremely anemic. They were like scared how anemic I was. It was probably only 5 years ago. But I think because I was already extremely anemic, it was going on for a long time. Can you hear me? Checking.
Yeah, no, awesome. That's pretty much a big majority of people are on the anemic side. Once you start plugging up the GI tract, nothing gets absorbed properly, and this leads to these issues. But the blood loss ain't going to help with all that blood you're losing every month.
Yeah.
Big strain on the body, huge strain. So, so
I can. They're not working, maybe also because my GI tract was so plugged that the absorption was very bad, right? The painkillers would not work. They working now if I take, they work now, but for years they were not working. Because of poor absorption, right?
Yeah, well.
big reason, I believe, why people are anemic. Yeah, but of course the extra loss of blood is another reason.
Yeah, so when I started dry fasting, it was to start to dry fast for me, being so anemic, so fatigued. I was scared, but so it was very difficult for me. The first dry fast is for like 15 hours, 16 hours, and I was all blue color. Very, very like difficult, very fatigued, very difficult. But then more and more regularly, and then I went to Filonov's retreat.
Where, sorry?
The Filonov. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one who wrote the book. Without him actually describing what dry fasting is, we wouldn't know what it is. He put it in the forefront for everybody to have an understanding of what dry fasting is. Like, we knew that the less you drink, it would be more powerful to fast from Arnold Harris days in the early 1900s. But to actually spell it out, this is a dry fast, no food, no water, no nothing, for so long. He spelled it all out for us and gave us many examples of how it is in nature and so on and so forth. So, we have to thank him for all of his work and the innovation on bringing it forth for everybody. It's amazing that we are lucky we even had an English version, which was translated by Google, but we have an understanding once we read. Did you read the Russian version?
Yes, of course.
So yeah, it's amazing. So when was the first time you went to Dr. Filonov's clinic? What year was that?
Okay, let me see. It was 2015.
Okay.
2015. I went in the summertime, and it was very difficult for me. What happened?
Did you change anything in your diet when you were doing this?
No, I didn't.
No?
No.
So you were basically on the same diet that you grew up on, making your home cooked food and stuff?
Yes, basically yes. But like I said, when I started looking for alternative ways to heal, I've done a lot of changes.
Oh, so
now I understand they were not enough. It's not enough, right? But I already incorporate, like I said, I stopped eating meat when I found out the hormonal disbalance and endometriosis and fibroid, they kind of feed from meat. I stopped eating meat. It was a long time ago, like 10 years ago, probably.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not like very strict. But I never buy meat. I never cook it. I can eat meat if I visit family. So sometimes twice a year. It's like, very, very little meat.
Were you still consuming dairy products?
Throughout the years, yes. I was like, I didn't know what to do, so I was kind of going back and forth to different procedures and different diets. I shared with you, Gina, that I, like, just like you, I even tried keto diet, ketogenic diet. Mm-hmm. When Gavin was raving about it, right, on his page, and there are people who claim it helps them for very serious issues. There are people, I read a lot of stuff from people who have like serious diseases like cancer, and they choose to heal with this diet. So I was ready to try anything. So my diet was not like back in Russia. I knew I have to eat more vegetables and fruits, but I've been trying here and there. So it was all, I understand now, very inconsistent and not enough. Yeah. Not enough changes, yeah.
It's challenging for people to understand that you have to change everything from A to Z.
Yeah. And it's challenging for people to even see the connection between food and the condition of their body. Even me now, like I'll get to it later. Even now, I still kind of want to prove to myself. I still go back and forth to like old ways. I wanna dissect my experience and see when it's actually starting, when my problem starts, and when it gets worse, when it gets better, and from what. Because still in my mind, in the back, there are some kind of not doubts or desire to get more proofs, you know. And for a lot of people, they just don't see this connection at all. Like I'm telling my mom, she's like, what are you talking about? She's like, keeps eating. She has a lot of diagnoses, like her stomach is like this, and she doesn't connect it. Food is food. Food is life. Like food is what gives us strength and nutrition. How do we live without it? They don't connect.
It's a challenge for people to understand, but when you look at it, you know, everything around us affects us no matter what. So how can food that you're putting in your mouth 2-3 times every day for many, many years not affect you? It's pretty ignorant not think that. But this is the way we've been taught, and it's the furthest thing from the truth. Everything affects us. And the biggest key factor, which you've had amazing and outstanding experience through your fast that you shared a little bit with me, is the emotional part, which we don't put that connection, but everything starts there. And it could be things that's locked up from us from our childhood, that's blacked out, that we don't even want to know about, and they start, you know, coming forth when we start going into these deep fasts and start surfacing. And this is the issue, that the biggest challenge for all of us, not you, everybody, is the emotional part. And this is where we need that support system, because we really don't have an exact solution how to solve all the different emotions that we all have. So we need to help each other. And by sharing, this is the best way. By sharing the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful, we can all learn from each other and get that support, so that we can pull through and find the balance for that part there. Because once we solve that emotion, the physicality is done. It's easy. It will heal. So the food is the easy part. Change your diet, this and that. It's the emotion that we all have that big challenge with.
True. Yeah, so true.
So you went to Philonophs the first time in 2015, and then I think you said you went a second time?
Yeah, last summer I went again, summer.
So the first time you did, how long was your fast there?
I was aiming 9 days per his advice, but what happened to me that I started bleeding in my, I think, 7th day. It was 7th day. Yeah, I started, and I didn't tell him at first because I didn't know, maybe it's gonna be little. You never know what's gonna happen. I was not supposed to bleed, but you know, my body is always like kind of betraying me in this way. You know, for years I was afraid to travel. For years I was like afraid to basically leave my apartment and sometimes even bathroom. I was, because I can never plan anything. You know, if my period starts while I'm traveling, that's it. I can just, you know,
Oh.
I can bleed somewhere.
Hello, we lost you. Hang on.
Cold, and I went to Siberia. But in my 7th day, I didn't tell him, and throughout the night, and I started bleeding heavily. In the morning, I told him. It was, I think, eight days. And because the bleeding was heavy, it was already 8 days of dry fasting. They got scared for me. They said, you know, you need to start drinking, basically.
So this was a complete dry fast?
Yeah, that was complete dry fast, yeah.
And when you say you were bleeding heavily, how much blood, for example, per day would you lose? Would you say a liter, half a liter, a quarter of a liter?
You mean in general or in a retreat on his place?
On the retreat. So when you say heavily.
In the retreat, no, the bleeding started, let's say, on the 7th day evening, right? I thought I'm gonna wait and see through the night. Maybe it's just a little bit, because a lot of women, they have when they fast, they have like just spotting, you know, like not. It can go long for many days, but it's never really heavy, you know. I haven't heard that women bleed very heavy through, you know, dry fast. I haven't heard about it. And I started bleed, like it was sort of getting its power. The blood was getting more and more powerful, and I was feeling very bad. I couldn't walk. Once it started, I couldn't walk anymore, you know, and I needed assistance to like help me to the restroom.
Wow. So how much blood would you say that you were losing?
Any
idea? This is a rough estimate, just to have an idea.
I can't give you an idea, but I saw it's getting heavier and heavier, and I asked him what to do, because it's getting heavy, and because of my history, you know, they said they said we have to get you drinking, because if I get internal bleeding, they would have to get me to hospital to stop it if it's internal bleeding, right? And they just didn't want it to happen, because he said, if we get you to the hospital and they determine your life is in danger because of that, they'll cut you. They will not ask your permission, they will cut you. And he said, we don't want it to happen, we don't want them to cut your uterus out, they will not ask your permission. So I started drinking, and we had to stop my dry fast. So I didn't get to fast until 9 days as planned. And I had pain also. It's strange that it was still, so it just shows the condition of my body, that on the 7th day of dry fast, I started bleeding so heavily with so much pain again, you know. It just shows how bad it was.
Hello? Yeah, a little bit of internet issues. Hello, Elena? Can you hear us? Hello?
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 Yeah.
Okay, you're back.
Yeah.
Sorry, we lost you there. So yeah, okay, so you were talking about the bleeding, this and that, you stopped.
Yeah.
That was at what day was it? 9 days?
8 days, yeah. 8 days.
And okay, then you returned back home?
I returned back home and I followed his instructions but I didn't drive fast. I lost so much weight. I was bones, and I went to this like mode of being scared too fast. My body wouldn't just take it anymore, you know. And I was eating pretty much a lot, so it's like replenishing. I see like a lot of very skinny people. They kind of have this extra challenge. They just start eating and replenish. I don't know if it's only emotional. Maybe there is also like in the body this like fear that we experience during fast. If we lose so much weight, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I did not follow even his instructions correctly, let alone that he is not advising raw food. He's not into this.
No, I know. If you read his book, it's pretty clear.
Yeah, he has his own recommendations, everything in moderation. If you meat is, of course, try avoid it because it's very toxic. If you ate something, you had to go to a party, an event, just drive fast. His main recommendation to drive fast every week. For those who skinny and don't want to lose weight, 1 day a week. For those who like have extra challenge with obesity or extra weight, 2 days a week.
Does he have a plan for daily dry fasting?
No, he's not into this at all. Even his long dry fasts, he doesn't, you know how it starts. You're supposed to start at home in the evening, right? Like we all do. But he doesn't count the evening and the...
Hello? Too bad. This is the first time she's had an internet issue from all the calls she's been on. Hello, Elena?
Can you hear me?
Sorry, you said that it doesn't count from, and then we lost you.
He doesn't count from the evening. He doesn't count night. He's like, let's say I stop eating tonight, right? I'm not eating, not drinking, but he start counting full days from the morning.
Oh, okay.
So I even told him about the other way of counting hours. He said that's nothing. It's nothing. It's like don't fool yourself. Your body doesn't even know you started fasting because in the night and evening you're not supposed to eat anyway. You never eat anyway. So it's your body doesn't even know you're fasting. So in his retreats, if you go for 8 days, it's gonna be in our terms. It's gonna be even more than.
So, right. You have that extra half a day.
Yeah.
He's basically he's onto something. But we just start. Last meal, last drink. We have a time that we stop, and then we move forward. It's just numbers anyway. We don't really.
The longer.
Yeah, but as you're moving along on dry fast, it just gets more and more deeper and powerful.
But also, like, I like this hours counting because it helped me. I was so weak, so anemic, so fatigued. I don't know if I could do the full day. I have started like many people. I started from 13, 14, 15 hours like that. And you train your body in this like very soft way. I think it's good. It's a tool. It has its own place.
Yeah. The whole issue with that is to train ourselves to eat less each day. We only need to eat in this very small window because we eat way too much.
Gina, like now I recall the years when I was extremely like anemic and weak. I was eating every couple of hours. I would go blue, pale. I trained myself to eat like constantly throughout the day. And I was eating heavy food, like nuts, snacking. I thought it's healthy, I thought, oh my God, I'm eating nuts. They're healthy. That's why I can eat a lot of...
I've been there. I like going, especially with the ketogenic diet things, man. I don't even want to go there anymore. Like right now, myself, my body doesn't want fats anymore. I like to eat them, the taste and everything, but my body doesn't like them. You know, so we live and learn. But okay, so you did your first experience with filling off. You came back, and then you returned the 2016, summer of 2016.
Yes, last summer I went there because everything came back.
Yeah.
When I got back from Philonos retreat, like I look at my symptoms. I don't need to go to doctors anymore. Let's say I can feel my uterus, you know, I'm skinny. So my uterus, when it's inflamed, it's gonna grow, it's gonna be swollen, and it's gonna stick out of my stomach. That's what was happening with me. In the last 2-3 years, my uterus grew so big, all inflammation, like all swelling, and I couldn't go to the beach anymore. Like some days were better, sometimes were worse, but so I can feel it. I feel everything. And also my period, if it's heavy, if it's horrible, a lot of pain, then that means I still have issues, right? So I don't need to go to doctor. It's been so many years. I'm tired of them. There is nothing they can do for me. There's nothing.
Yeah. So your second round at Philonos, what happened there the second time? How long?
Yeah, so what happened was I came back from Philonos. My symptoms were very good after like first month. Second month after that was already not so good. I already knew and saw that everything's coming back. And then third month was already again heavy, bleeding, big uterus and stuff like that.
Wow.
So I was still in this dry fasting group, right? Gavin's group. And I did a version of Master Fast because you've been talking about it. It was like 3 years ago, about 3 years ago. You've been talking about it and I got inspired. And because I was like this junkie for new ways to learn and to heal, right? I tried. You told me to go for like 30 or 40 days, but I did 20 days. And you know what I also, at that time, it was also hard for me to be in peace with the idea of cooked juice and a lot of sugar and all this. So what I did was, it was like trying, you know. I did 20 days, but I was like, oh, okay, I want to try, but I want to put water in this because it's too much sugar, you know. Then I would, let's say I would go for colonic and they would tell me, oh my God, what are you crazy? You need vegetable juice. And I would get scared and get a couple of glasses of vegetable juice, fresh juice, you know. So I was like kind of one foot here, another foot there. I was in between. So I did 20 days Master Fast, but it was not real Master Fast. It was a bit, you know.
This was
modified.
Was this after the first time or the second time from filling out?
It was, I think it was after first time. Yeah.
The first time.
Yeah, it was probably winter, autumn, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did that. And on this, even this modified version that I created for myself, right? Even on this modified version, my period came and it was very light and much less pain. It was, so that was a good thing. But then I was reading again this Gavin's page and I got thrown to the ketogenic diet. So I thought I'm going to try this because so many people were trying this, right? And I gave it fair, honest 2 months. I was very, very, very strict. And 2 months, threw my hormones off, my uterus grew like this.
Wow.
It was all like swollen stomach, everything, but my face looked good, you know, from all these fats. It's so interesting also. I went to Russia again and my relatives and my family, my mother, they were like, oh my God, you look so good. They didn't know that under my dress, my uterus was huge and I couldn't, like, let's say, go to the beach because of that, you know, but every time I fast, they don't like it because I don't look as good. So that's also the challenge. People also they think you have to look plump, and if you look plump, that you're doing something good.
I'm gonna post my picture from when I was doing in the middle of my basically ketogenic high fat. I didn't have no wrinkles. I was a lot heavier because I was working out, but you know, my face looked great, but I felt the worst I ever did after those couple of years.
Yeah, I was watching actually a lot of videos about keto diet to support me in this process. And well, what made sense to me that they saying that you have to train your body because we've been eating so much sugar, you like run on sugar. And it takes time to retrain your body to start burning fat. So I thought I need to go some like significant span of time in order to actually see the results. So month, at first, because I haven't eaten fats for many years, it was I was delighted. Oh my God, bacon.
Was it vegan keto?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it vegan ketogenic?
Huh?
Was it vegan? So, or you went back to meats and?
I went back to meat. You probably didn't hear me, but I was saying that at first, because I haven't been eating meat and fat for many years, it's so tasty at first. I was like, oh my God, bacon! Wow, it's so tasty! How I've been missing all this years. So at first, some of the foods, I had fun with it. I liked it, but then they say you have to be really strict. You have to like push yourself with oils, and I started having a hard time just stuffing myself with oils, and I just didn't like it. And towards the end of 2 months trial, I couldn't get any food in me from this diet. I just couldn't. I've never in my life threw away so much food. My refrigerator was stuffed, and I was throwing away foods every week because I couldn't eat it. I couldn't force myself anymore. Just didn't want to. Even though my will, I wanted to give it fair trial. I wanted to see if it works, but I just couldn't. Like, I didn't want to eat. I was fed up with oils.
Yeah, what happened with me, I really pushed myself, and I could barely eat one meal a day. And the reason that happens is because when you're on these high protein and high fats, you're basically putting your body in such a stressful situation, and it's being plugged up. Your body doesn't want no food. That's why you don't get hungry.
It's obstructive. It takes much longer to digest and eliminate.
Yeah.
So the body doesn't want anymore. That's why people, when they eat meat, they say it fills me up. If I just eat a salad, I don't get full. I want something to fill me up, so I'm not hungry all the time.
And if we always have that little bit of hunger, that's the way we really want to be living. We don't want to feel that we never want to eat. Anyway, it is what it is. Let's live. So you went into your second time to filling off, and how many days did you do over there?
10 days.
Oh, 10 days. Second time you went 10. Did you start bleeding again? I can't remember.
What happened was, I planned very carefully always because I'm afraid to travel, and my body always betrays me. always. Yeah, I know, right? I don't know. Yeah, I stopped saying it. I'm just joking now. But yeah, I know. I stopped saying it because I realized at one point that I'm very upset with my body. I'm mad at it, and I don't want to be this way. So I planned carefully again. I went to Filonov after ketogenic diet. I had more weight on me, and I went to Filonov. And my period started in an airplane.
Oh.
It was not supposed to start. I was supposed to go through my fast without any problems. I started fasting at home because you arrive to his retreat on the second day. You're supposed to start at home, travel dry fasting, and come on second or third day, depends on your experience. We had a woman who came to his retreat on 7th day. So some people on 5th day, they experienced once. So I was all planned, all prepared. In the airplane, my period started. It was not supposed to start. And I came to his retreat already bleeding with horrible pain. And I had, right from the beginning, I had horrible this crisis that I didn't know I can go on. I was so like upset. I came here. It's like takes so much effort, so much time and planning and all this, right? So much effort. And I can't go on. I had horrible. One night, the first night in his retreat, I was all like, I had so much pain. I was throwing up. I had cough, like all kinds of reactions. And in the morning, I was crying. I told him in the morning what to do. I'm bleeding, I'm in pain. And he said, look, if you need, take painkiller, but without any water. Just take, if it's unbearable, if you want to go on with your fast. And so I had to take painkillers. I took twice painkiller, and they helped very fast, of course. They helped right away, but I had to take twice because the crisis was going on and the pain would come back. It was horrible. I went through such hard time. It was horrible. I didn't know if I can go on. I thought I'm lucky if I can go 4 days, at least 4 days, because I couldn't stand it. It was so hard. But I endured and pushed through. I pushed through. The painkillers, they helped a little in this process. And so I went for 10 days.
Nice.
So this crisis, after this crisis, there were like rough days because my body was very hot and there was a lot of like spasms and shaking and trembling, this kind of stuff.
You bleed for the 10 days?
I bled for the 10 days and over, beyond. Wow. I bled, yeah, it wouldn't stop. I was still bleeding beyond this, yeah.
So you took the painkiller without water? Without
water. I had painkillers in capsules. They're easy to take. The in gel form. So I took painkiller without water. It helped a lot. It's like, it just helped me to go on. I don't know. I would grow fast.
Yeah, and the pain.
And again, the pain came back like next day. And again, I had to take one more painkiller. Helped a lot. And
you took it until what day?
Twice, she said.
Hello?
Uh-huh.
You took it twice, right, in the 10 days?
Yes, I took twice in the beginning because that's when I experienced most pain. It helped me to push through and then I was fine.
And then you did the master fast after that, right? So after that, you did like a complete master fast. And you came back.
Yes, it was last summer. So I came back from the Filonov. Yes, my symptoms again were much better, much better. And what happened next was, and again, I was so desperate. I was trying so many things for so many years, and I was so afraid for it to come back. I went, as soon as I got back from Russia, I went to Peru and I did some healing with ayahuasca and with frog, Cambo, or another name is Sapo frog. So I think it helped too, because after that travel, I got my period and was also lighter and much less pain. Because, you know, perhaps you know, it involves a lot of purging, a lot of elimination. And the frog poisoning medicine, it involves, I think, it's very strong anti-inflammatory. So that I believe that helped a lot. So when I came back from Peru, my symptoms were much better again, and I knew like I have to go on somehow. I have to like keep it. I don't want it. I want my body to forget, you know. So I had good results from Filonov. I had good results from Peru, and I was like, again, I came back home and I was like, what to do? Maybe go back to Peru, maybe go back to Filonov, what to do? And then I saw you like that with this master fast, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna do this. And I was like last year, I was like on a run for my life. I was so desperate, you know. From Filonov, I went to actually Vipassana. I did Vipassana. From Vipassana, I went to Peru, did ayahuasca and this frog. From that, I went straight to master fast. I wanted to go on this healing. Come on, don't come back. So I started in October.
Yeah.
October of 2016.
Yes, yeah. I never planned for 108 days. I thought 30 or 40 days.
Mm-hmm. But I
would do, yeah.
Yes,
and when you suggested like go for 100 days, I was like, what? 100 days seems like forever, right? Like forever.
Yeah. You started the master fast. You got on and everything, and then you contacted me. I think it was, and you mentioned you started bleeding, or was it on one of these Zoom calls? I can't remember.
Yeah. So I started master fast thinking I'm going to go for 30-40 days and we'll see how I feel. So again, my period started and it was enormous. It was so bad, guys. I thought I've seen it all, but I haven't seen this. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Like clouds falling out of me like rain, like.
But that's healing, isn't it?
What did it look like?
Lumps.
You know, like that's what Filonov always told me. He said you have this advantage because a lot of women in his retreat with similar problems, endometriosis, fibroids, it's very common now, very common. Yeah. So he said, but they don't bleed, you bleed. You have an extra eliminating channel. Be glad that you bleed. Don't say your body betrays you. You know, it's an extra advantage that you have.
Yeah. I mean, you're lucky that it started in the airplane.
This is one of the main reasons women have a longer lifespan than men. It's an extra elimination mode that we don't have.
Yeah,
it's a good thing.
Well, you know what, Gina, I'm glad to lose this elimination channel. I'm tired of this one.
Well, cleaner and cleaner.
Patience.
Yeah. So what happened was my period started and it was like I've never seen before. I bled for 3 weeks. The heavy blood, I had to take painkillers because it was unbearable pain and enormous amount of blood loss. I remember I booked acupuncture just too hectically when I thought my period is a bit less, and I came out of acupuncture. I stepped on the street from acupuncture office. I went home and I found myself in the middle of the street with blood clots falling down my legs. I'm sorry for the details, but we have to, just sharing whatever happened. Just like falling down my legs, overflowing everything, nothing's helping, nothing is holding this horrible, enormous flow anymore. And I was standing on the street like this, didn't know what to do. I thought, okay, I'm fasting for so many days already, and I can't even take cab. all flood. I would flood all the car, you know. I can't even sit down. I didn't know. I thought, okay, now I'm gonna fall down, probably lose my consciousness because it's enormous, right? And somebody's gonna call emergency. They're gonna take me in, and who knows what they're gonna do with me, you know. And hopefully I'm conscious by then. So I don't know how, but I was fine. I found nearby Starbucks when I could take care of myself and then go home. Yeah. And so like this enormous periods of this crazy blood loss with huge amounts of blood clots, you know, huge amount, like falling down. I don't even know where all these blood clots coming from. It's enormous.
Well, it's the body purging out the old and to rebuild the new. This is how it works. And this is where we need to have that faith and the trust in what we're doing. When you're on a fast, you know, you need to keep that faith and the trust. That's why I kept encouraging, you know.
I mean, it's amazing. You're healing. That's the whole purpose of what you're doing.
Yeah, so it was a combination of like a lot of support from the group, from Eugene. I think it's like my willpower, but willpower doesn't work. It works only to some extent. As you go on and face so many such heavy challenges, there has to be some trust, like you said. There has to be something else that's in play. Otherwise, willpower is not gonna push you that far. No.
You want to be comfortable when you get into fasting and going into long fast. If you're not comfortable with it, there's no point. It means you're not ready.
Yeah, there's.
You really want to be ready and comfortable, you know. Have faith, and you know, if you feel really tired, that's your opportunity. Your body's healing.
So yeah, that was Yeah, go ahead.
Now, there's quite a few women who go through these experiences when they go on the fast. They start bleeding several weeks, and then at the end, you know, it all clears up.
Some people don't know they have endometriosis and they bleed a lot, you know, they don't know, but that's probably endometriosis.
Yeah, so I don't know what like a combination of things helped me through, a combination of things. And and this is like first 30 days of Master Fast when a lot of toxins flood in, and with this enormous blood loss, I was not here, guys. I was so lightheaded. I was sorry. I couldn't understand who I am, where I am, what's that was, yeah.
Zoom meetings, yeah. We remember you were talking to us. You were kind of no energy, but later on, you started getting your energy back.
I started getting, yes. So again, my body betrayed me again. I'm joking, because just 2 weeks after this huge 3 weeks blood loss, I started bleeding again. And just 2 weeks of this, like a little bit of rest, I started bleeding again, and I panicked. I remember I contacted Eugene and I was like, what to do? I can't believe it. Why can't I fast in peace? Again, bleeding. How many blood I can lose? What's going on? I can't lose any blood. And you encouraged me again, yeah. And this time I panicked, but it went much better. I had discomfort in the beginning, so I thought I'm gonna have full-blown, like, problematic bleeding again. But the pain subsided, and I didn't have to take any painkillers, and it was lighter. It was the blood loss was lighter already. So again, I pushed through, and once that second period stopped, I started really recovering. And the sort of second trimester of Master Fast, if I can call it trimester, like this middle part was, I was feeling my best.
That was about what, 50, 60 days or something? Or?
Probably after 45 days.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Around day 50 or something like that. My body started, once I stopped all this bleeding, my body started feeling better and better and better and better. I started going to yoga regularly. As you can imagine, I couldn't do it. I couldn't take because of this heavy bleeding, I couldn't do a lot of stuff. I couldn't do saunas. I couldn't do baths. I couldn't help myself in many ways. It was not available at this time. So I started taking a lot of detoxing baths with soda, with everything. I went to sauna a lot. I started yoga. I took sometimes Shivananda yoga, and sometimes I would take twice, morning and evening, 2 classes in a day.
Mm-hmm. And you were on herbal formulas, right? Of course.
Again?
You were taking the herbal tinctures as well. How many tinctures were you taking?
I had 9 divine genus, and I had my own because I brought a lot of Siberia from Lonov. I picked myself a lot because it's very ecologically clean area. So I picked a lot of herbs myself, and I brought a lot of the Siberian herbs like radiola. I bought there. So I had my own tinctures. So at any given time, I would have an extra tinctures in addition to Divine 9. I had like propolis tincture and like all the Siberian roots tinctures. Yeah. So I was at any given time I was taking about 12 tinctures.
We love herbs when you're fasting.
Yeah. So what was I gonna say? Right. So in the middle part of my, that's why I decided to go on, because I was starting to feel good. I had energy. I was working. I was doing yoga every day. There was very good flexibility in my body. I think a lot of people experience this. Once you remove this extra stuff, you become very flexible. You've been always this flexible. You just didn't know this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was in the middle. So around day 60, I was already very skinny. I went already skin and bones, probably day 30 or 40. So I started going beyond skin and bones. Even though I felt good, I felt okay, but I was debating. I didn't know if I should go more. And then, but that time, once my physical challenges in the beginning, all this bleeding and pain stopped, I started having a lot of emotional healing. And that's when it all started. I started actually seeing all the connections, that we're talking about all the time, all the connection with food, because you can't numb yourself anymore. The food is not available. So I was having a lot of emotional triggers, and I couldn't do anything about it, just to sit with it. And I just was amazed to see how it all works. It was amazing. So from day 45, 50, a lot of emotional stuff started to come up. And as I was observing it, sitting, I was crying every day. That's all I could do. There's nothing you can do. At that time, I was already avoiding friends and kind of social life because I didn't look good. And emotional stuff. I was very vulnerable. I was crying every day. And one day we went to the movie with my friend. I cried in the movie. I never cried in movies. So I started crying a lot. Watching how it all works. When you get triggered emotionally, I would come home and my mind would be in panic mode. I would be like running, wanting to do something, break the fast, maybe to book ticket, fly somewhere, go somewhere, like traffics. All these things we employ when we feel bad. And when, nothing is available and you just sit and cry,
Well, on we quoted the statement you said that we put on your poster. I have experienced unprecedented emotional healing while physicality had no choice but to follow through.
Yeah. So what happening was, I was starting, like I said, in the middle of this master fast process. I started experiencing so much emotions to come up on a daily basis, like roller coaster. And I was taken by that process. I forgot about, like, in order for me to remember what I'm doing, why I'm doing in the first place, I had to recall why I was doing it in the first place. That's how much the physicality went to the background. I started literally forgetting why I started it, because I was so taken by emotional healing. Every day, something would happen, something would come up. A lot of feelings of being inadequate, being stupid, for doing extreme things, for doing this, like I posted one time on the page how I went to do a colonic, and I did enema the same day before, and I came to colonic place and they put a lot of water in me because it was unobstructed. They didn't even realize how much water they put in me. And I was all like started having like even pain, discomfort, and I said that's enough. And so I was all like full of water, and they got scared because they started asking why this happened, because usually people don't get so much water in such short time, right? So I shared with them, and there was a lot of questions asked and a lot of like smiles and like doubts, and I came home so triggered. I was crying. I was like feeling maybe I'm doing something stupid. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe people know and I don't understand something. So a lot of these feelings of if I'm doing the right things.
That always happens when we're fasting and things don't go the way we think they're supposed to go.
But also, especially it's your first one, right? So you're very vulnerable. But as you get more and more comfortable with fasting, you're like, I don't care how I do. Really, I mean, right? At some point, you're like, yeah, I mean, I lose weight, so what? I feel good. I don't know. I mean, at some point, it's just, it doesn't make any sense. The first fast, it's always difficult. But after that, it's like, I don't feel like.
Yes, of course, because first time I have lost my entire body. First time in my life I have lost it, and I know a lot of women mention that their butt goes flat and stuff like that. I'm gonna be completely honest, my butt was non-existent. It was the hanging rugs, and I'm a young woman. It was just hanging rugs, nothing else. That's it. Letting go like this, what is attractive, my own attraction, the way I'm supposed to look, the way I want to look, the way I should look. All these questions came up on a daily basis.
Yeah,
I had to let go of a lot of things like that.
What weight did you start, and how much weight did you?
I started at around 126 pounds. I was always a skinny person. I started about 126 pounds, and last time I checked my weight, it was 10 days before the end of Master Fast, and I was 80 pounds.
Wow. You went down.
So in the last 10 days, I should have lost a few pounds more. So I don't know, because in the last 10 days were very rough for me. Last couple of weeks, I was not feeling good. I lost so much. I was so weak. I was so skinny. No clothing would fit me. Everything would fall down. Like I had only bones left. I discovered how skeletons walk. There's a special walking. When you look at animated movies, the skeletons kind of, because there's no tissues on the bones, and that's how I was walking. I was like. So yeah, a lot of funny stuff. I had to let go of a lot of things like that, how I look, how I supposed to look. And last days, I'll be honest, I spent mostly staying home. And in the last couple of weeks, my kidney pain was almost always present. the kidney hurt a lot.
Yeah.
I was feeling good if I'm laying down. Otherwise, about half an hour of walking or standing, my kidney started hurting in the last few weeks of master fast. So I was basically staying home and lying down a lot.
You're working full time? What do you do for work?
I work from home.
Okay.
When I don't feel like it, I could do minimum work.
Sorry, we lost.
Hello, Elena? Hello? Technical difficulties. In this day and age, I don't know why we have these problems. Hello?
You hear me now?
Okay.
Yeah? We're back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're back.
You're back.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's amazing, you know, the fears and everything that come in, but what we have to have that trust and the faith is it all comes back and much better after. This is where, you know, the experience and the understanding of what we're doing comes into play. Without that, most people would quit. They wouldn't go through it. 108 days is not a long time without no food. And, you know, we're having juice and we're having herbs and so on. So it's not, you know, complete, but the dry fasts that we're doing are really you see all the deep healing happening. And then when we go back to the liquids, we're washing out. That's the key. So you went down, you got down to pretty much skin and bones.
No, I went beyond skin and bones, beyond.
Beyond.
Because, you know, I posted and I shared pretty much what's going on with me. I would never dare to post the pictures because I went beyond skin and bones, beyond.
We've had a few people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know, even like my face that started disintegrate. You know, I started having a lot of indentations in the face, you know. I was like, what was my face made of? If, you know, I'm also all these holes now. So last third trimester of master fast was difficult for me.
So after you had the first few weeks of bleeding, then you had a break, and then you had the second time of bleeding. How long did that one last?
About 10 days, I think.
And then after that, no more bleeding?
No more bleeding, no more.
Wow.
So for the rest of master fast, I was completely free of bleeding, free of this problem, and I started forgetting it. And with all this emotional stuff coming up on daily basis, I was like, what? Bleeding? What? Periods? So yeah, that was like a distant past.
Yeah, we forget very quickly where we came from. When the pain's all gone, we don't even want to remember.
Yeah. So that's what happened. I was like, what? Why am I doing this? Wait a minute. But the emotional healing, Gina, that's why I'm emphasizing it so much. Master Fast opened the next door for me, you know. It opened the door really wide, but I've been opening many doors before, right? So I've been into this like Vipassana, and I'm old student of Vipassana, and a lot of stuff that I tried, because I knew from a long time ago that emotional and mental healing should be first, right? So I've been doing a lot of stuff like meditation retreats, Vipassana old student, hypnosis. I got certified. I'm a certified hypnotist. I was studying Reiki, Akashic records, conversational hypnosis, neuro-linguistic programming, and I got certified in that. I've been studying past life regressions.
I've done a lot of those.
Oh my God. I've studied so much. I knew the emotional healing should come first, right? And a lot of stuff would come up, especially like during, like, let's say Vipassana meditation retreats. A lot of emotional stuff always comes up. A lot of healing I experienced there. A lot of stuff comes from ayahuasca. That's my experience. A lot of emotional healing ayahuasca gives. And the Master Fast opened the next door wide open. It was amazing. You know why? Because it's so long, 108 days, and every single day for so long you have to, face something and go through it and heal, because you don't have this any more those tools like food, right? You just sit and cry. You wanna cry, you wanna yell, you wanna roll on the floor, do it, you don't have anything else, just you. So that's me, my stuff, and I just sat with it. I cried so much. But what my answer is, because that's the whole point of awareness, like the whole point of doing meditation and all the, let's say, spiritual practices and Buddhism, they all teach you awareness, right? You have to be mindful and be with yourself and don't run away. And that's why it was amazing to me that my class, like every day, you with yourself, witnessing and going through whatever's going on with you. And why my focus on that, because in 108 days, and actually it got me into this habit, and it's very precious habit. So much so that I stopped worrying. During Master Fest, I was still planning ahead of time. I thought, okay, I'm gonna go to Peru again, ayahuasca, and do this and go to Vipassana. And guess what? By the end of Master Fast, 108 days, I felt I don't need it anymore. I canceled a lot of plans, a lot of trips like this, because I knew something very accessible, something better maybe, because it's available to you every day.
Beautiful.
So by the end of this 108 days, I felt so content. I felt like every tool that I ever need, it's right here, it's all here. I have it all. That, like I said, I didn't feel the need to go anywhere else, to do all this crazy stuff. I don't want to run anymore, to study different things, to go here, go there. It's all here. It's all right here. I actually got into this habit, and now I can see that time some desire comes up, let's say, I want to go there, I want to do this. I got into habit. Now I look at this and see it and try to understand why I want to do it. Do I want to run away from discomfort, from something unpleasant, from all? I actually get it now. That's invaluable. That's really precious.
Amazing. You have some spiritual stuff that you want to share that you kind of shared with me a little bit and so on.
Yes, towards the very end, I had a couple of psychedelic experiences. Yeah, I would have visions, and I would connect with my loved ones who are dead. I actually had visions involving me and them, and it was amazing. It just was amazing. It was so healing. I met my father this way, and on another occasion, it was grand, and there was a lot of healing done, like, through this. And this stuff, you can't even come up with what would happen. It just happens, and you just amazed. It's not the first time, actually. Something like this happened to me on a long drive fast. So I guess fasting is known for providing this kind of experiences. And I don't know, like, some people might call it hallucinations and some weird stuff, but to me, it's extremely healing. There is some reconciliation, resolution that transcends all these traumas. Like after that, you feel, I don't know if I'm completely healed from those events, but it heals a lot. I can feel it. You just feel that you resolved a lot. You don't hold this heavy stuff, heavy nuts anymore. And imagine to reconnect with your dead ones, right? It's amazing.
Yeah, you know, like what you said, that, you know, you canceled everything, started searching, because everything we need is within. Everybody's searching out there, and that's the challenge. You're not going to find it.
No.
Use the tools. It's good to use the tools. MasterFast is a tool, and in my opinion, it's an amazing tool to help you connect with yourself and you know, face your emotions and, you know, be more, you know, connected spiritually, and I mean physically, of course, much cleaner. It's amazing.
It's amazing, you know. And by the end of MasterFast, with all these psychedelic experiences, I also experienced, like, you know, you can connect to knowledge, you know, just directly, and it comes to you like whatever you want to know. It's not like, oh, I want to know this. It's just everyday life. You look at things, you look at stuff, and you know right away. And this knowledge is so deep that you would never, ever, I know, like I would never get to it using logical mind or seeking knowledge from outside. Never. It's just deep and instant.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up.
The downloads.
The downloads.
Yeah. That's how you call them?
For me, when I go into my long fast, especially the dry fast,
You're ready to
it just comes. The information, answers pop up. It's a beautiful thing, you know. And how do you convey this message to people? You have to experience it.
Yes, you're right. And I wouldn't even call it information. It's just some deep, now you feel it. You feel it so deep, you know, that's how it is. It's
knowing.
The depth of it, it's amazing.
Exactly. It's a knowing. You just know.
Yeah.
You know, how do I know MasterFast works? I know. It's after all these years with this stubborn head of mine, I got a lot of downloads. Some of the stuff I ignored, and I paid the price, and it's okay because it was all for a purpose.
Yeah.
But you know, we still don't know anything. The more we know nothing.
It's exactly what's happening to me every day. I'm like, I don't know anything.
You don't have to know everything, right?
It's just, you know, go within and just let it happen, because it's a beautiful thing when we can start to find a little bit of balance in our life. You know, if we go back to your old videos and look at you now, you're a different person.
I am a different person.
Exactly.
I do feel different, you know. Actually, the old stuff that I was into, I was interested, I canceled everything. I'm not interested in it anymore.
Exactly.
I do feel like a different person.
Yeah, it's impossible you can go back to your old ways. You can try, but you still won't go back. It'll be something different. But we completely change at every level, physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. It's impossible that you don't change. Impossible.
Yeah.
Even a 40 days fast will change you.
Yes, and coming back, Gina, with what you said about like how to sift through all the information that's coming. We are bombarded every day, right? What to do? Like just like you, I've experimented a lot. I've tried a lot of things throughout the years with very little result, very little. How to go through it, like how to differentiate, how to choose what's right, what's wrong. You mentioned you need common sense. I think what's most important is
Hello? Hello? Sorry, we lost that. You said what's most important and we missed it. Hello?
I said, like, to go through all this information and to choose what is right, what's wrong, to sort of make a decision. I think it's better that we develop this awareness, how we feel in our bodies, you know. The common sense is also a tool, but it's not gonna help you all that much. It's good, just like every tool, it's good for a certain extent, to a certain extent. The awareness, how you feel in your body, we're not aware. We don't know how we feel. We don't know if we take this food or we drink this. We don't know how we feel. We totally dismiss it because we're not aware. And that's how you like fasts. And a lot of other tools can be used, like meditation is a great tool. Fast is really, for me, probably now it's my favorite. You know, you get into this awareness, you learn, you cultivate this awareness, and the more you do it, the more you feel how you feel, the more you're present with yourself, and then you don't need anybody to tell you. They're not gonna tell you. Nobody knows better than you what's good for you. If you're aware, if you stay with yourself, you know what's going on with your emotions, you know what's going on with physicality, what are your reactions, how you react, and how you by little this fast, and you develop this awareness, you develop little by little, and that's how you get this knowledge for yourself, because nobody can tell you, like, nobody knows better than you. This knowledge is not available because we're numbing ourselves, we're numb, we don't feel.
Right. Yeah, I think awareness is a better word to use. You know, becoming aware, you know, common sense, yeah. Awareness, I think, is a better word to use to
right. Yeah.
To connect.
I already said, and I'm going to repeat it again because it's amazing. Like the whole this meditation practices and Buddhism with all its practices, it's all to cultivate this awareness, to be with yourself. The whole mindfulness, the spiritual sort of industry talks about mindfulness a lot, right? Mindfulness. That's what it is. You're being with yourself. You're not running away. You're being right here, right now, and feeling what's going on with you. In your body, in your mind, in your emotional state, you're feeling it, you're staying here. And that's when you start knowing what's good for you, what's bad for you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You got that connection.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So, so Elena, what's your diet like now that you have finished?
Okay, from beautiful, amazing, let's move to ugly.
Okay, how did you break your fast?
Okay, yeah. I broke my fast amazingly because by the end, at 108 days, I thought I'm gonna go breatharian because I didn't have any interest in food. You know, keep in mind that throughout practically whole master fast, I was obsessed with food, you know, guys. My refrigerator by 108 days was full of fermented veggies. I was doing all 100 days. I was cutting vegetables, fermenting them, cutting them. I just was so obsessed with food. I wanted to handle it. I wanted to smell vegetables. I wanted to cut them. It was fun. I knew they're not gonna make me break. It's not gonna make me break my fast. I just had fun, pleasure, smelling vegetables and cutting them and handling them and creating different like stuff. So my refrigerator is still, I can't get rid of this like stuff, you know. That's how much I made during my master fast.
Yeah.
So by the end of my 108 days, I thought I'm gonna be breatharian. I had lost any interest in food whatsoever, like zero. No cravings, nothing, no interest in food. Like, I don't understand why do I have to eat. So when I broke, but remember, I went below 80 pounds.
Yeah.
So and I was not leaving my apartment in the last days. I was not working properly in the last maybe month or so. I was not really working, didn't have that energy. Yeah. So I had another challenges, like I needed to gain my strength back and my weight back. I broke my fast with melon, and I was for 1 week on one melon mono fruit meal a day. Really, like only a few little pieces, and it was too much. I didn't want to eat, but I myself a little bit. Then I started adding a little bit of fermented foods.
Did they have salt?
Huh?
They were salt.
No, with salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, with salt. But I after my
Hello, we're losing you. Hello.
mostly. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Now what we
So
hear.
you said fermented foods, fermented vegetables on the second week, right? With the fruit. So
Yeah, yes. On the second week, I started. So it was, like the time I broke my fast was not good. The quality of fruits was horrible. So I was buying fruits, and it was February. I was buying fruits. They were so like tasteless. I didn't want them. So that was the extra reason why I didn't want to eat. So yeah, I pushed myself because in the first week, while I was on mono fruit meals, I was still losing weight. I could see I'm still. My body was like working. I just didn't want to stop detoxing. I was still losing. It just was on full detox mode. It didn't want to stop. And I was actually very tired already. I didn't want to lose any more weight. I was desperate to gain. So I started pushing myself to eat more. I didn't want to. So I was pushing. And for 1 month, I was good. It was raw, mostly fruits, sauerkraut. After I broke my fast, in less than 2 days, my bowel started moving like crazy.
Super bowels.
Super, like it's like every day my bowels will be like,
Hello? Hello? Elena? Hello?
we lost you, Elena. Hello.
yes.
Hello? Okay, we got you back. Hello? You said, yeah, you had super bowels and then? Hello?
Hello?
Okay, yeah, I think we got you now.
Yeah, okay.
So you said you had super bowels and then we lost you.
So yes, less than 2 days it took for my bowels to start working without any enemas, without any help. So less than 2 days, and my bowels started working like there is no tomorrow, guy. I've never thought it's possible. I started having like 3 to 5 bowls a day, and with sauerkraut and fermented vegetables was up to 8. Like I was like, no, that's too much, you know. Can I leave my house, please? My bowels were like, can we do it even better today? Can we do it better today than yesterday? It was amazing. Like I never thought it's possible. I've read before a lot of information how it should be. My history is like I was having all my life like 1 bowel a day.
Wow.
1 bowel movement a day.
It just shows how much we get numbed out that everything stops working.
Yes, and when I read before, you should have 3 bowel movement a day, I was like, what? Is it even possible? How do you? But like less than 2 days it took my body to start moving, and every time I eat something, just about like it's supposed to be, like picture perfect.
Exactly.
And then, okay, that's a beautiful part, right? Then came second month post master fast, and that's ugly. It was ugly month for me. I went to such extremes, guys, with eating. Oh my God, that's just. It started slowly, right? I was feeling I need to gain my strength back and my weight back, and I was pushing myself to eat. And only 1 month later, I found myself laying down on the couch, stuffing myself non-stop for hours. Gina, I remember you were talking about eating standing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? I was eating laying down. You know how much can fit? You know how much can fit laying down?
My goodness.
I was feeding myself up to my eyeball. I just couldn't stop.
Yeah.
I had this like obsession to chew all the time and for flavors.
Nothing was satisfying.
Nothing was satisfying, and I needed to chew, constantly chew. And I would not eat for 1 hour, Gina, not for 2 hours. It was like non-stop for hours, eating, until I would feel like this. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't sleep. Ugly part.
What did you eat, Elena? Everything?
It slowly started, yeah. So slowly, once you allow yourself to eat more and more, then cooked food, then a lot of flavors, and that's it. So I ended my master fast end of February. So let's say roughly March was good, and roughly April, the whole month was ugly, roughly speaking.
Yeah.
It was ugly. And I went back to even trying foods that I wouldn't eat for many years, like turkey burgers, without buns, without bread, but I would buy in Whole Foods turkey burgers, and I would buy like another meat soups, stews. I went back to eating everything slowly like that. And the month of April was madness, Gina. It was madness. Stuffing myself without any control, thinking to attempt dry fast to reset, but couldn't do it. Like I've lost it. I've lost all my willpower. I don't know what's happening. Maybe, who knows, with such long master fast, who knows what was triggered inside of me. Maybe some deep fears, that my body went through. Who knows?
How about now?
So by the end of April, I knew I have to steer away from that madness, but really slowly, because I realized for myself, and you mentioned it too, Rana, that the more you push yourself, if you're not ready, the more it's gonna come back at you. Yeah. So maybe the 108 days, it was too much for me. Maybe I pushed too much, too hard, too soon, because it was like rubber band, right? Like you pull it back. The more you pull it back, the more it shoots forward. And I went to this another extreme with food, and about it. Actually, it was interesting experience because I was watching like everything was going on, how this obsession takes place again. I never ate so much in my entire life as in April. In my entire life, I was never obsessed. I was even never considering myself a foodie. I would never sit and eat for hours. Maybe when you have some special event, a birthday party or something like that, or New Year's, right? You eat a lot. But to eat a lot like this for no reason, by yourself, laying down, to stuff yourself. I don't know why. My like understanding now that maybe I was not ready for this. It was too much, too hard, pushing too far with 108 days.
Well, I did the 108 days, and I have to say that my experience was amazing. I didn't have the pains because I didn't have, you know, like endometriosis and fibroids, but I lost a lot of weight, and I was criticized, and I was not confident, right? I was told I'm anorexic by my sister, and even my clients would tell me, you look sick, but then honestly, like, unfortunately, the people who told me I'm sick are the sick people, are the sickest people. Seriously, like I have a client who passed away now. She told me I looked anorexic.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, I mean, I felt great, but I lost so much weight, okay? But I felt great inside. And I didn't have to go through the pain. So thankfully, my experience was not bad at all. And if anything, it was beautifully, you know, like spiritually and everything. Yes, you see the emotions, but you observe your emotions. Unlike when you see the emotion, I mean, we go through emotions all the time, eating or fasting. But when I'm fasting, I observe them, you know, and I look back, you know, even if it happened 2 days ago and I was very negative, I look back, I would be like, why was I negative? You know, it's not worth it. So the next time I'm less negative because that's not what I want. So it shows you the contrast way better. So you can get to choose better, right? Make better choices. But after my long fast, I also went crazy, and I ate things that I never thought I would ever eat, you know, in my life.
Yeah.
I haven't had them in 15 years, you know, forget vegan, you know, I mean, my goodness, you know. So I was like, whoa, like what's going on? But I have to say, Elena, now I feel amazing with food and fasting. I don't know if you know what I'm doing, but I'm fasting most of the time, and I'm eating 1 day a week.
Yes, I've read. Yeah, I know you're doing this.
It feels, you know, you get the energy and the content and the satisfaction from the fast, but you also get the satisfaction from the food when you eat. And trust me, you cannot eat too much. I used to eat like nonstop, like you're saying, you know, like nonstop. I can eat so much, like I can binge eat big time. But on Sundays when I eat now, I cannot overeat. My body is not allowing me to overeat. So, or even when I eat and it's not too much, I still feel it. You know, it hurts at the end of the day, even if it's not too much food. On Sunday, I go a bit early. I just can't. My body is too tired. The energy goes towards digestion. There's no more energy left in the body. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you hear?
Yeah. I can hear you. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is find your balance, okay? It's okay. You had the experience of the 108 days for a reason. So let's not regret anything. It's I do not want to regret anything because it gave me this. I saw the light, you know. I saw things that I probably wouldn't have seen if I did only 40 days, right? And so I know there is more. I even was thinking vegetarianism, right? Especially when I started binge eating, because I was like, what is that? You know, I was content before, and now I'm eating, and I'm not content.
It's because food does not give you that emotional satisfaction that we used it for. We're eating, we're not hungry. We're eating.
Yeah.
And we're not hungry.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's what I experienced, and it's like invaluable experience for me as well. When I saw firsthand, and I'm buying all this food, I'm getting crazy about it, flavors, and it's not even tasty to me. I don't know what I'm looking for, you know. I want to stuff myself, chew and stuff. What is this, like obsession? And it's not even tasty. I'm looking for something, then I don't get it from food.
So find the balance.
Okay.
Yes. So you know what? The only thing I would, if I could, from now what I know now, if I could give advice to myself in the past, although it's just like theoretical, right? I would probably start with a shorter. Maybe do like 60 days first and then go 100. But you know what? I'm very impatient individual, you know. I want like fast. I thought, when I'm gonna do 108 days? I want to travel. I want to go to visit my family in Russia. You know, I want to do it now, because I'm impatient. I want results now. If But because it's 108 days, it's a big commitment, you know. For me, it was big commitment, you know. I couldn't, in the last month, I couldn't work properly. You know, I was completely antisocial.
But just look at the other opposite side. What happens if you didn't do the fast? Where would you be with your conditions?
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. But if I would be different person, yes, like myself, you know, I went for 108 days. But if I would be different person and listen, and perhaps if somebody would advise me, or maybe you should go first and do 60 days, I probably wouldn't listen. Because that's how I am, right?
What?
And I also, Gino, just like you're saying about you many times, I like to learn from my own experiences. I'm exploring myself all the time. I'm exploring and I'm experimenting, because that's how you know. Somebody can tell you, oh, do this and do that, but before you know for yourself, that's how I like to do it. So I went for 108 days, and I'm glad I did it. I'm very happy I did it. If I'm different person and a little bit more patient, I probably would do first like maybe 60 or 70 days. Just prepare yourself more, just train your body a little bit more, and then go to 108.
So, okay, you said April was your worst, and then you have May.
So by the end of April, I understood that there are some very crazy forces at play, because I just lost all control. Like, it's a complete, like, loss of control beyond anything, you know, like I couldn't recognize myself. Like I said, I was not even considering myself a foodie ever. And here I was stuffing myself, eating non-stop for hours, non-stop, guys. It's just chewing and eating, like this. And you know what, Gina, what's interesting? Throughout all this abuse, my body was still moving bowels like crazy. That's how amazing my body is. Throughout all this abuse with food, it was working amazingly. That's why I probably continued abusing for a while, because I thought, look, it's working. I'm not getting, you know, of course I'm getting, but.
Did you swell?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm still swollen, you know, my face is still swollen, because by the end of April, I understood that something is very, very powerful going on, and I cannot pull rubber band back too much, too strong anymore. I need to do it slowly, very slowly, and I started steering away very slowly from that madness. Basically, just trying to eat less. I didn't worry about, because every time I start pushing myself or restricting myself, every time I would go and just go run and buy meat or whatever, something else, you know. And I knew I have to do it very slowly, like very, very step by step. And I just started eating less. Then I did 9 days master fast in May. So I did a couple of days dry fast. So in May, I started combining a couple of days dry fast, then master fast full a couple of days. Then I cooked grape jam with whole lemons, and I did like a few days of super hybrid, then a few days hybrid. So I was combining different these days, and altogether maybe I did like 2 weeks in May of these various fasting days.
How's the periods and stuff? How's your, after all that?
I did, after I finished my master fast, I still didn't have my periods, and I didn't worry about it. Although still this idea of not having period is still a little bit, for me, so, you know, I'm not completely at peace, you know. For me, like, still there is some doubt, maybe it's problematic, because I'm still a young woman, maybe I should have, you know. So
with all that binge eating, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's amazing, because once I binge ate after my master fast, my period came back.
It came back eventually, but I didn't have it for like 2 months. It came back recently. Yeah, it came back. It was completely pain-free. completely pain-free.
Congratulations.
How long was it?
That's good.
That's the thing. The first period after Master Fast, last month. Yeah, last month. It was in the end of May, I think. Well, it was pretty lengthy, and it was kind of heavy. I didn't expect that, so.
Yeah, with all the food that we eat.
Yeah, so now I see, like I said in the beginning, it's interesting to dissect the process and prove it to yourself, you know? That's what's happening and why and when.
Yeah.
And when you go through it yourself, not somebody told me. Yes, Gina knows, but I want to know myself. I want to see these proofs myself. So that's what I'm doing. I see exactly what's going on.
Now you know.
How it's coming back, what's the process of it, how it's coming back. So it came back completely pain-free, but a little bit too heavy.
Okay, your body wants to shit all that garbage out because we overate, right?
Yes, and another period came. So I had 2 periods, and also like pain-free, but a little bit on the heavy side. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's good that it's heavy.
It's amazing because now I'm kind of more convinced and I know what I'm doing. And the month of June, I'm now like on my 3rd day, 3 days of Master Fast. I dry fasted for 24 hours. Now I'm on Master Fast. So the plan is, so it worked for me in May. I went away from that madness. I'm not overeating, and half of the month I was fasting in various fasts. And the same I'm planning to do for June, and I'm already fasting now. And yes, I read you, Rana, read your experience, what you're going through now. So my goal is now to kind of satisfy, to not rock the boat too much, you know, to satisfy eating a little bit, but cut it off until I get into obsession, you know. So a few days of fasting, but not to push it so I feel deprived again, you know, like I feel so obsessed again. And then go to eating days, but cut it off before I get into crazy mode.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing.
You got to find that balance, and the 108 days is very necessary when we need to try and, you know, sort out serious conditions. We need to strip away, get rid of all that old. It's very, very necessary. Whether people believe it's too extreme or whatever.
And then you had the results. You had the results.
No, guys, you like talking to me like you convincing me, like I'm doubting. I'm saying 108 days, great. It's just for somebody, maybe it's too soon, too much. That's what I'm saying, you know.
It's I'm not saying that I'm trying to convince you. I'm just putting it out there for people who are listening. The bigger the mountain we climb, the greater the rewards. Never mind what the superficial stuff looks like. The rewards are there. Yes, some of us are going to go off the wagon after these 108 days, and we're going to do some binge eating, this and that. It's okay as long as we don't go too mad and kill ourselves. We need to. Sometimes we need to go through that experience, just like you're saying, to understand it, what's going on.
Yes.
You know, slowly we're going to find our balance. The key is to keep the fasting in our life. That's the key.
Most of the time.
We can't go back to eating 7 days a week. We can't. That's the problem, that
the cravings come back.
Everybody
come right back.
Goes into challenges. 7 days a week, forget about it. You can't do that.
I have to say, with eating 1 day a week, honestly, I have zero cravings. When I'm fasting, zero cravings. Also when I'm eating. And when I'm eating, I love it. I love my food, and it fills me up. And it's amazing, right? You see me. I mean, I used to eat like seriously, nonstop.
Yeah.
Especially after a long fast. I have done 108, then 78, 45, 21. Every time I broke it, after 2-3 days, I'm back to heavy eating. And, you know, the most important thing I have to say is making it a habit. Now, what I'm doing is so freaking easy right now. It's so easy, but because the first few weeks, I made it a habit. Sometimes I felt like, oh, you know, maybe I can break it, and you know, I don't have to follow what I want, you know. But no, stick to your program. Have a nice program for yourself, and stick to it for a few weeks. Feel comfortable with it, okay? And I don't know, do whatever it takes to be comfortable. Change it a little bit here and there, and then once you have a nice, you know, nice program for yourself, and you're very comfortable with it, it is so easy. After a few weeks, it is so easy. You don't even think about it. You're like, you start thinking, oh my God, I'm never hungry. Oh my God, it's so easy to fast, and I love my food, and you know, that's what you want. That's what you want. You're doing amazing.
Yes, I'm glad I went through all this experience. It's like very, very interesting. It's self-exploration, very interesting. And like I said, it's you learn firsthand from your experience. That's better than anybody tells you. And now I am finding this balance. I'm not there yet. Like you run, it's too much for me. I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, of
like,
course. You do it.
Yes, but I am trying to find my own balance. What I'm ready for at this time.
Absolutely.
And I'm finding like this combination of different fasts. So, like I found hybrid is very good. I cook this jam myself at home, but honestly, because you're eating, it sometimes can trigger you to eat more. So sometimes full master fast is easier to do than hybrids. But I'm combining here and there. I'm combining different days, and the month of May, like I said, half of the month I was in this different, and it's good for me. It's good. From what I went through in April, I'm doing amazing.
Well, now you know what works, and you just have to find your balance, and you keep working at it with always your goal in mind, and you'll get there. You'll find your balance.
And you know what? Don't feel guilty. I mean, feel happy. Always be happy. Be joyful. What you did, even in April, when you had, you know, very low time, very depressed and whatever, you still did not reverse the 108 days. No, like some people say, oh, I feel like I reversed the whole thing. No, you did not. I mean, look at your periods now. They're pain-free. You know, yes, they're heavy because you're eating heavy food, you know? So that's good.
Through your 108 days, did you release a lot of plaque?
Yes, of course. And parasites, I never knew. I kind of doubted I had parasites because, you know, throughout the years, I did a few parasite cleanses with tinctures, but now I'm convinced when you say that they don't work as well when you're eating. Maybe that's the case because I've done parasite cleanse. I've never seen any parasites come out of me. Never.
No, we need to change the terrain. We can kill. As soon as you stop killing, they'll be back if you don't change the terrain. And this is where people don't have the understanding of what that means. Changing terrain is going for 108 days of serious cleansing and then maintaining a clean lifestyle. That's what changing the terrain. It takes years to change the terrain. So, you know, we don't worry about the parasites. Everybody's got parasites, everybody. But they're there to actually help us. The issue is when we're so polluted, they take over and they start causing problems. But they're not the cause of the problem. The terrain is the issue which we need to work on.
Yeah. If anything, they're helping us. They feed on heavy metals. I mean, they concentrate the waste in their bodies so that they're not all over the tissues, right? So in many ways, bad parasites are good for us.
Yeah. So I started seeing parasites somewhere only like in the middle, starting the middle of Master Fast, and all the way through 108 days, and even beyond that, I still saw they coming out.
Did you have mucus come out of you as well?
Yeah.
Any other issues that you had besides the main one with the bleeding? Any joint issues or?
A lot of issues, a lot. Like my head region proved to be very, very toxic because the almost whole Master Fast, I had bleeding gums.
Wow.
The whole Master Fast. I had skin would break in certain areas and ooze, like behind ear, because I used to have eczema here in my neck. So the skin would break in certain parts. My skull was very dry, dandruffy, and then I had also like oozing sores on my skull. Extremely blurry vision, like blurry, I can't see any, like my eyelids were swollen for some days, like swollen and red and itchy. I had a lot going on in the head, a lot of hair fall, and I still experience. I lost like probably throughout all this time half of my hair. Like I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm still detoxing in my head because it doesn't stop. Let's say like gum bleeding stopped, but I still have some skull issues like sores. And I still, you know, the vision, Gina, my vision went blurry during master fast unbelievably, and it's still not completely clear. It's still kind of.
Well, once you go back to binge eating, it if I eat too much, my vision goes a bit strained. Yeah, but well, it's still early. What is it? February, March, April, May, June. You know, you're still early.
Your body is still, you know, in a detox.
Mm-hmm.
It's lots of people go through blurry visions through the fast, and a lot of them will clear up their vision. Like my vision, I could barely read before. It cleared up quite a bit.
I want to mention for the period. You said you're not convinced. You know, it's okay. It's a very new thing for us, and we didn't experience it, so it's hard for us to.
Yes, I know. Yeah, and I'm totally for this idea that a woman doesn't need period. I'm totally for. I'm so fed up with this. Right? I'm the first one who will. Please sign me up. But there's still this like cultural understanding that maybe you not healthy. You know?
There's two ways of losing the period: unhealthy way and a healthy way. So yeah, you understand. You know, it's not a natural thing. Number one, to have periods, but the body is going to put the womb in a state that you can bear a child. So it has to purge to rebuild itself. And that's why the periods are there. So if there's no toxins and no, you know, if the body's clean, the womb is in a clean state, there's no reason for the body to purge. Oh, should we lost her?
Can you hear us, Elena?
Yeah, no, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's like awareness and a knowing.
I mean, you can still, you're ovulating. You're ovulating, you can still have babies.
Many women, you know, eating a clean lifestyle, don't have periods, and they've had children,
usually
healthy children.
Usually raw. Whole fruits and vegetables.
Berries mostly.
But it takes a while, sometimes years before you lose it. You know, you don't have to worry about it. It might take a year. It depends how, you know, the body.
Yeah, I just wanted to also to mention that with all the amazing emotional healing that I have experienced, my life, like Eugene said, like you look different person. I feel so different, and from having this problem for so many years, and all of a sudden not having it at all. After Masterclass, I realized how much place and space in my life it was taken. And I think it was so much for me that all this space was free for me to use my time, my life, and I didn't know how to use it. That's also the reason maybe for binge eating. You don't know what to do with your life because it was taken by the illness before. And all of a sudden you don't have it anymore. You're free to do. And my life, I realized, was sort of planned out of limits, out of these restrictions. I cannot do this, I cannot do that. Okay, what can I do? Because I cannot do a lot, right? And now all of a sudden I don't have it at all. I'm a different person. Oh my God, what to do with myself, you know? What to do with my life. So that's also, I think, the reason why you want kind of go back a little bit, right? Because you're not ready for this. You're not ready for new life.
Yeah. So
yeah,
you know, this is the thing where, you know, once we go in, we expand, and everything's possible, folks. Everything's possible. Now, you know, you're just going to have to find your balance. You know what to do now. You don't need anybody else. You have all the information you need.
Exactly.
To do. Now it's your choice of how you want to find that balance.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, beautiful thing. And that's only one, you know, one fast. It's a long fast, but who cares? You know, it's no big deal. You know, some people will never do 108 days after they do one, and that's okay. Some people will do one a year, one every few years, whatever. You know, but the key is to keep fasting part of your life after you do that nice long one. The long one is crucial to heal deep-rooted physical and emotional issues. It's very, very crucial.
And it's, you know, and it's really important as well, maybe just as important as the long fast, the balance between fasting and eating, right?
For sure.
Being comfortable with both, being happy with both, and enjoying both, because really, I mean, yeah, just as important, I would say.
Yeah.
It's just, I think that we all have different level, we all come from different backgrounds, right? All different emotional issues and stuff. And so we all have different level of readiness, you know. I see from your experience, Rana, you were more prepared maybe than me, right? When I went through my 108 days, that's created, you see, like this disbalances later. Because I was not ready. I see from posts on a page that people who went first through shorter, like 40 or 60 days, and then 108, they had a better experience.
No, people went into binge eating. It all depends on the emotion.
Okay, then it's completely all very, very individual, very, very personal.
It's about how ready
it's all emotion. It's all emotion, Elena. And you know, this is why you can't say that, oh, if it was shorter, this would happen, that. But you got to remember, when you go these long ones, we're purging all those memories that were built up, and we need to build new ones. That's the key. It's not physical. It's the emotion is the key. The physical holds those memories.
Yes.
The emotion, so we want to purge them. 40 days is okay, but it's not a good cleaning. 108 days, it's a good cleaning, but it's not thorough. So then we move into the second phase, and we get into, like I call the 108 days, your first metamorphosis, and then when we break the fast, your second metamorphosis, because you're going through another transformation when you're eating. And then we got to find our balance.
I mean, finding the balance, though, is not so easy. It's not so easy.
It's not easy at all. It's difficult. You're right. Thank you for pointing out.
That's a challenge.
I think it's really important that we keep training our bodies to fast, eat, fast, eat, fast, eat, fast, eat, fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
With both and enjoying both, and then you'll be like, oh, I don't care for food. You know.
Yeah. When we eat, we enjoy every bite, but you know, going back to 7 days a week eating is ludicrous. We don't need 7 days a week eating. So that's what we have to figure out within ourselves.
Yeah, that's not easy for everybody to think about, right?
It's simple. It's not easy. It's a challenge. Everything's a challenge in life.
Yeah, I mean, but you're right. I mean, this is very important that we cannot eat every day after a long messy fast. Just
if I eat 7 days a week, I feel horrible.
Yeah.
Yes, but the only thing, like, I think is better thing to do. I'm not saying like 40 days will clean the same way as 108 days. No. I'm saying to prepare yourself, you know, to
a few practice runs, whatever.
Practice, yes. So to go for first time maybe 40 days, second time maybe 60 days, and then I'm not saying don't ever go for 108. 100 days is amazing. Like I said, I wanted to go vegetarian at the end. I didn't have any desire for food, but to prepare yourself emotionally, to clean yourself a little bit, emotionally and physically, to prepare, to do it more gradually.
Yeah,
and then
for people who have the time, they're not really sick or anything, it's okay. But just think about you if you broke it at 40. You didn't hit the second phase where you went into the bleeding again. You wouldn't. So that bleeding is a healing, is a very deep healing. Then you went into another one after the second time, right? So these are very deep healing that you're not going to get with short fasts. You're going to get results with short fasts. Don't get me wrong. All fasting is great.
But what I'm saying, like after, let's say I took 40 days, right? 40 or 50 days first time. Maybe I would not get that obsessed with food like I did after 108 days. I would not lose that much weight. I would not feel that deeply deprived. And I would be more, maybe better with balance. Because, you know, that's what my issue with. So maybe after 40 or 50 days, I would be eating better after. And then when I'm ready, go for 108 days. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is if you did 40 and you broke it, and then you still had the bleeding problem, you'd probably be saying, well, maybe this is not the way. And maybe not go back. See, you can make up all different scenarios. What you went through an amazing transformation. You had emotional healing.
Whatever it is, you had your experience for a reason.
Don't worry about if, what, who, when, what.
Yeah.
So, Gina, this is a good point that you made because with my personality, I'm like that. I've tried so many things throughout the years and I dropped them because I didn't see results. So for me to go through 108 days, that would show me real thing.
This is why I like people to do a long one at least once.
When
they're ready. But like some people, they don't have the time. They need to do it now.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, some people, yes, for sure. Yeah, they don't have time. They need to go straight to 108 days. Yeah.
So, you know, it's not massive fast is not for everybody. But, you know, we have all the tools to help us through whatever we choose. Minis, hybrid, long, short. We have all the tools to get that support. We have the support page, which is crucial. So we have a lot of people who have gone through it with experience. So now it's that awareness. We know. We don't have all the answers, but we have a very good foundation. After 2 years spreading it with all the people around the world, we have a very good foundation now. Very good. You know, people, you know, ask me certain things. Well, how do you know this? I've experienced this is not. It's hard for people to imagine, but I put my body through so much, and you know, it was for a purpose. It was for a purpose. So now we have so many other experiences, which makes it even more powerful, and we can help so many other people going through these different experiences themselves. But the emotion is always going to be the key.
At the end of the day, you know, it's about, are you ready?
Yeah, you're either ready or you're not.
I mean, here you go. We have a beautiful protocol for you. You can do whatever, many options even.
You were ready for 108. That's why you did it. You wouldn't have done it if you weren't ready.
You're right. Because if I did 40 days, I would probably said, it works a little bit, but maybe there is something better.
But now, you know, now you got to stay focused. You don't want to go back to the old ways of eating. You got to clean up.
Listen, the universe brought you the experience for a reason. Okay?
Yeah.
Everything was planned for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
if you push too far in going back at your old ways, things, you know, you get what they call the memory. It'll go back slowly to the old ways.
We're learning ups and downs.
Yeah. So you have all the information now what to do and how the body works to heal itself. It's just very scary, especially in a situation where you're bleeding a lot. It's very, very scary for people to, you know, keep that confidence. That's why I just encourage you. You know, don't worry. You know, it's not fun. You just have to know where to draw the line if you have to break it. But sometimes it's that one little extra step that you feel like you're going to die. Really, you're not. You take that step and you come out stronger. This is the beauty of fasting. You know, some of us will pass on and go to the other side. It's our time to leave, and that's okay. But we have to come to that understanding and that decision that only we can make. Nobody else can do it for us.
The body can do it itself.
You know?
Yeah. The body would need itself.
It's like we've seen miracles happening, like miracles, like it's. So, you know, it's
a good tool.
It's the faith. It's that faith that we need to go. I don't believe myself that the body will ever put itself in a dangerous situation when it's fasting. It knows what to do. The problem that we have in today's man is all the toxicity that we're loaded up, which is not natural. And those are the issues that become iffy. The body knows what to do, but when the doors aren't open, like people go in and they don't want to do the herbs, not a good news, not in today's man. We need help and keep those doors open.
Especially
so
on the
things are
massive
flowing.
fast.
Yeah, this fast is way too powerful for anybody to do it as a juice fast. I don't agree with them anymore. Especially with cooked juice, you got to be ludicrous to get on a juice fast with cooked juice. Way too powerful. Way too powerful. So we know a little bit more today than we knew yesterday.
Yes, this is amazing detox system, amazing. And the detox that's going on with you, like we all know now, like it touches all aspects of you,
You're still early after the break, so now find that balance, Elena, and stay focused, set your goals, stay focused. Everything's opened up for you now. You have an amazing experience.
You're doing amazing.
And it's amazing that you shared it with everybody so other people can resonate with that, with similar situations and so on and so forth. Fasting never seems to amaze me. Everything's possible. Everything's possible.
Goes back.
Like we've seen people's bones straighten out from birth. They were born crooked bones, spines. We've seen so much stuff. A little bit of hair loss, don't worry about it. We had Michelle who lost so much hair, and then she started looking at her scalp, all new hair growth. She got beautiful, complete new hair. But this is a year after.
Yeah, I have that too. I have new growth from Master Fast. Like this, the whole layer. Yeah, the whole layer is new.
So don't shut things up just because you're losing hair, and then you have to embrace the changes because 1 year is nothing.
Just have faith.
1 year is nothing.
Doing the right thing.
It's just stepping your foot in the doors. We're just walking through the door now, and we keep walking. 2 years, 3 years. If you continue with all these tools, you'll look back and you won't even remember who you were.
Yes. Yes. 108 days later, I did not remember who I was.
I know, but I'm just saying you keep going, 1 or 2 years, 3 years. Whoa. Yeah. The transformations are unreal.
Yes.
I went through them. That's why I can describe, and I've seen people going through.
Physical, emotional, spiritual, at all levels.
All levels, all aspects and all levels. Yes, it's amazing.
It's so beautiful, what we have. It's creation. This is the tool they gave us. All animals dry fast. They don't water fast. They dry fast. So, all our teachers that we've learned from, and all the people that experiences, this is what we have now, and we keep making adjustments to allow us to help people as best we can. This is the beauty of sharing, and the more people share, the more we'll be able to help people, the more we'll learn. So this is the beauty, and I thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for your support. This is amazing. I've never seen anything like that. Such a supportive people, amazing.
Yeah. Well, the page has grown beyond my expectations.
Yeah.
And we have like 72 people that we know did 108 days. There's more out there that I've heard of that they don't want to share, and that's okay, whatever. But the 108 days, 72 people were crazy enough to do it as me. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But just shows you that we're capable of so much more than what we've been taught. So much more. We got a few people that did more than 108. We did Carl and his brother did 180 days. We have Marin in Germany. He's over 1 year. He only took a small break for a few weeks because his detox was so strong. He was in a wheelchair, chemo to death, ready to die, and he's still going. He's a superhero in Master Fat. We're all superheroes. But I'm just saying everything's possible, folks. Everything's possible. All the naysayers can keep naying,
Okay.
whatever.
We don't focus
You
on
know,
that.
we don't focus on that. We focus on all the miracles and all the beautiful stories, and that's all we need to focus on, because that's all that matters. Is the human body is capable of so much more than what we've been told. There is no limits. We haven't seen nothing yet. Yeah, so we've done quite a bit.
Yeah, well beyond time, right?
No, it's okay. It's amazing story that you needed to share, and we thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Stay focused, stay on the page, keep sharing, stay focused.
You're doing amazing. You're looking amazing. You did a great job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Completely transformed. Just stay focused. Find your balance. Whatever it takes, find your balance. And when you eat, enjoy. Enjoy. You know, every bite. Because, you know, not all of us are going to be breatharian. Some of us may go that route. Part-time, we can call most of us part-time, because really, in a sense, there's most of us are doing it part-time anyway. And you know, the true breatharian to me is no food, no drinking, anything. That's a true breatharian. There's very few doing it on the planet. Food is for pleasure, though. Yeah.
Food is for pleasure.
Yeah.
So enjoy it.
It's not a necessity.
Yeah.
We've been
so
taught.
Enjoy it. That's why it's there.
Yeah,
for taste and pleasure, another sense. But
we've been taught it's a necessity, but I don't believe it's a necessity. It's so ingrained in us that it's difficult for us to leave food completely. But it's okay. We don't. Not all of us have to go that route. We can enjoy some of the pleasures in eating.
We do whatever we want. Nobody has to do nothing.
Yes, I think even like food is a tool, just like any other tool. When there is no other way, when you don't feel like, don't find comfort in anything else, then why not use it for comfort? Yeah. We're lucky. We should be happy we have this tool too, and you know. But it's a tool, you know, to use. If nothing else is available and you feel really bad, it's a comforting, and it's okay to use it as sometimes. No, if nothing else is at your availability.
Nothing wrong with eating. Nothing wrong with eating at all. It's just we can have a control that we can eat way less and be way more, enjoy much more by eating less, and include fasting in your life.
There are different tools, yeah, and slowly we're learning what makes us feel better, right? And we keep using that tool that helps us feel.
Okay, so yes, we'll end it in the recording. Elena, keep the recording just in case we have a problem here. So when it ends, it'll go into what's it called?
Whatever, it's gonna save into a file.
Yeah, it's gonna take time to go into a file. Just let it happen, just in case we have a problem.
Because I don't know if it works, but we will let you know. If ours didn't work, then we will probably have to ask you to give us the recording.
All right.
So I just leave the screen as it is right now. I just leave the screen and don't worry about it, right? I don't.
It's gonna go into
it's gonna come up. A window is gonna come up.
Yeah. All right. So thank you so much again.
Thank you, Elena.
Okay.
Love you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was very nice to reconnect again, right? Long time we haven't seen you.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.
And